Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Heartland Franchise Guy podcast, your insider's guide to all things franchising in this local area. I'm Blake Martin, local small business franchise owner and your Heartland Franchise Guy. This is your one-stop shop for all things franchising, information, advocacy, and resources and tools for franchising in the Heartland area and for entrepreneurs that are looking to learn more about the franchising industry. Speaking of learning more, tools and resources, our guest today is the answer to something that we've been trying to do the right way in Nebraska and Omaha for a long, long time in the entrepreneurial community. Scott Asmus is with us, and he is the guy leading the charge for something called SourceLink Nebraska. It's a one-stop shop, a repository for all the tools and information that are available for somebody who's looking to start a new business. Scott, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks, Blake. I'm happy to be here and excited to talk about SourceLink Nebraska.
Absolutely. Now, your official title, not lead guy, is SourceLink Nebraska Network Builder.
That is correct.
What are you doing in that role? And give us the big picture overview of what SourceLink Nebraska is.
Well, in my role, I network with resource partners all across the state of Nebraska to create the infrastructure behind all our great resources across the state. Nebraska has a rich environment of resources across the state, and what we are missing is the infrastructure behind that. How are we going to make the connections between these resources? So here I am with SourceLink Nebraska. The past year, we have been mapping those resources, put them into the central repository for entrepreneurs and business owners to search for what they need. We talk about finding the right resource at the right time.
Yeah, and this is all about all of the different resources that are needed if you're looking to start a business, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Everything's there, anywhere from if you need to learn how to do a business plan, who can you connect with? Who are those experts in Nebraska? Or maybe you're looking for loans. Who in your area of Nebraska that can help you with that? And there's more than 500 organizations represented on our platform with 890 different resources from all across the state.
Yeah, 890. You know, it's an amazing number, 890 different resources for different places you can go for resources and tools to start a business. But I'll be honest, it's not entirely surprising to me that you're at that number already just in the beginning, because as you know, from being connected and talking to so many people in the entrepreneurial world, the ecosystem, whatever term you want to use around here, there's been failed attempts, right? I mean, people have tried to start something like this, but they just haven't been able to keep it going, or it hasn't been sustainable. What I saw in SourceLink Nebraska, and the reason I really wanted to talk to you and have you on the podcast, was there's some real infrastructure here, right? Like SourceLink isn't something that just started, and there are people behind this in addition to you. Can you talk a little bit about the infrastructure behind the infrastructure?
Absolutely. Yes, I do have a team with me. We're a small team, but we are a team. We have a network navigator. Her name's Brandy O'Malley. She will be assisting entrepreneurs directly that need maybe some additional assistance finding and connecting with resources. And they can reach out to us through at info@sourcelinknebraska.com.
I love it how you got that in already.
Absolutely. And also, because we are with the Nebraska Business Development Center, we're hosting SourceLink Nebraska there. We are at the University of Nebraska Omaha in Mammal Hall, and we have the privilege to have a graduate assistant working with us, Alan Martinez, and he will be working with entrepreneurs as well, and he's working on a lot of our social media and then outreach to the Latino population, so we can put our resources in the Spanish language as well, so we can help break down some of those barriers.
Covering a broad base.
Absolutely.
And so just to review here real quick, you are part of this effort. SourceLink Nebraska is part of the Nebraska Business Development Center, which is housed actually throughout campuses all across Nebraska, right?
Yeah.
Your location, the main center location, is here at Mammal Hall at UNO, University of Nebraska Omaha.
Absolutely. So, yes, I am with the Nebraska Business Development Center, and the Nebraska Business Development Center decided to host this platform. We are doing this in partnership with Nebraska Extension and rural prosperity in Nebraska. We help bring it to Nebraska and help launch it. But we want this platform to be seen as a tool for everyone. So we are hosting it, we are maintaining it, but it is an effort with all of our resource partners, the 500 organizations connecting so we can help those entrepreneurs.
And so your life, this just launched around Thanksgiving of 2021, right?
Yes, November 16th. November 16th.
It's almost like you remember that date.
Yes, we were so excited to do this because I started in July of 2020, starting to network with resource partners in Nebraska and starting to collect the information we need to build the resource profiles on the Navigator. So all that led up to the November 16th launch.
And so even before that launch in November, you guys spent a good year and a half just connecting dots, figuring out what the categories are going to be, how to organize this whole repository, is it appropriate to say this whole portal? It's more than a portal.
Yeah, I think that would be appropriate to say. But yes, it was organizing, finding out what our resource partners offer. And through that, we're going to be able to see overlaps in services, but also gaps in Nebraska. We want to be able to work with our resource partners that maybe there's an area in the state of a particular resource that isn't served as efficiently. Maybe we can help that resource partner connect with other parts of the state to serve other individuals.
Brilliant. So you've been connecting all of these dots, probably feel like one of the more connected people in the entrepreneurial world right now. Can you kind of paint a picture of, so people go to this, again, the URL is the website?
SourceLinkNebraska.com.
SourceLinkNebraska.com. So people go in there, and then what should they expect to see?
They're going to see our homepage, and there's a variety of tools on there. And the main tool and what we've been discussing are the resource partners and the resource profiles, and that's called the Resource Navigator. So it's a searchable engine. You can search according to where you are in the state, what service you're looking for, and profiles will show up according to your needs. Entrepreneurs and business owners can connect with those resource partners right from those profiles. They can click a button and send a message saying that they need assistance with a particular type of service. But there's also the social media information on there for those resource partners, a contact person, a phone number, address. There's also a description of that resource partner. So maybe they are looking for business plans, but it also talks about other services that they provide as well. So
I see.
It's at one place to find that information. But also we have an events calendar that resource partners can submit events to our calendar. It's statewide. It's at no cost to use. You look at our website and you can find out what events are happen around the state that are entrepreneurial and business development themed.
So, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're all right.
So now that we're getting into the brass tacks, you give examples like the events calendar. What criteria necessary? What qualifies somebody to be one of those 890 and counting resource partners? It can't just be everybody that does everything.
No, it's primarily nonprofit, government, and education partners. Okay. However, there are situations, and it's left up to our discretion, that there may be some for-profit partners on there. Maybe if it's a co-working space or maybe venture capital, but that's up to our discretion because we want to make sure that our resource partners are able to connect with entrepreneurs and then be able to direct them to maybe bankers and maybe other types of consultants as well.
Right. It literally helped them connect the dots.
Absolutely.
The challenge for a lot of people, like it was for me, first time I went through this, is where do I begin, right? What questions do I even ask? What categories of resources should I be looking for? So I would imagine a lot of people that are coming to this, if you're attracting the people that you're hoping to attract, a lot of the people coming into this SourceLinkNebraska.com, right? The first question they're asking themselves is, where do I go? What do I even start looking for?
Absolutely. And we do have resource business guides on there as well, available to entrepreneurs. We have a tool called Enlighten. It's a video library of training videos that entrepreneurs can access and learn about all sorts of topics regarding starting a business. But also we have startup, capital, and growth guides as well. And those guides are not comprehensive in the sense you can read one and start a business. It's to help you get an idea of what you can do in any stage of the development process. We want to make sure that we're always directing those individuals to our experts in Nebraska.
Yeah, yeah. If I could rephrase that in a way, tell me if this is accurate. The intent isn't that this is going to provide you all the answers you need, but it's going to arm you with the questions and the right people to ask those questions of in order to start providing the answers you need to start your own business.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. You know, when I started out on this project, I've never started a business. I'm not an entrepreneur myself, so I saw that as a strength going into
Everybody's an entrepreneur. It's just a matter of when you pull the trigger.
That's a good point. Well, I became one building the platform.
I'm going to say, you got to own this thing, don't you?
Yeah, so absolutely. And, you know, when I started looking, I said, well, what would an entrepreneur do at first? And that was the question that's always been in my head. And when we were building out this platform, that's what we wanted to do, is break down those barriers and make it a little bit easier to find out where you need to go and find the right resource at the right time.
Makes a lot of sense to me. Think like an entrepreneur, right? What are they thinking, or what are they not sure they should be thinking about, right?
Absolutely.
What else should we know about SourceLink Nebraska?
You know, over the next year or so, we really want to promote usage of the platform. We want it to become that one-stop shop where entrepreneurs, business owners, and our resource partners go to build Nebraska's businesses.
Yeah.
You know, reach out to us at info@sourcelinknebraska.com if you have questions. If you need assistance, please do that. We're here for you. We're very, very excited about where this is going, and it's just the beginning. 5 years from now, I can imagine that this will be thought of when you think of entrepreneurship or business development in Nebraska. You're going to think of SourceLink Nebraska.
Yeah, yeah. And SourceLink has legs beyond just Nebraska, right? So this is a tool, this is a platform that's been used in other states for some time. So, I mean, this isn't some fresh application or platform that you're test driving. I mean, this is something that's been used for the same purpose across the country for years.
Absolutely. There's affiliate programs all over the country. It started out of the University of Missouri, Kansas City. So that's kind of where the home base is, but some of our affiliate partners in surrounding states are Kansas. We have Network Kansas, Missouri SourceLink, Iowa SourceLink, and also Wisconsin have a platform as well. But there's a platform in Puerto Rico, and then there's some out on the East Coast as well that are county-based and maybe a region that utilize the platform. We're a statewide one. Kansas has a statewide one. Missouri statewide. Iowa is, and Wisconsin. But I think of SourceLink Nebraska as an excellent tool because one thing we didn't have was that platform. Our surrounding states had the platform. Yeah. And when we think about attracting business to Nebraska, if there is somebody from the south, east, or west that would like to build a business in Nebraska, they can go to SourceLink Nebraska and start learning about our ecosystem, find out what resource partners are there.
That's an interesting angle. Yeah, you may very well attract investment into the state just because you've already built the infrastructure for them to feel comfortable entering this state.
Absolutely. And with that events calendar as well, you know, COVID changed some things. We do more events virtually. Now maybe somebody in California can attend an event in Lincoln or Omaha, Nebraska, or Scottsbluff, Nebraska that's held virtually. So, you know, sky's the limit with this platform, and it really does open up possibilities for Nebraska.
I have noticed, searching around the site, SourceLinkNebraska.com, that you have all the chambers, the economic development, so I can see that there's certainly an economic development component to it.
Absolutely.
Tell me more about what are your success metrics? What are you guys looking at? Aside from obviously you want to see continued growth, I would imagine, of resource partners, but what are your success metrics for over the next year, over the next couple of years?
There's a couple I'm looking at. One is website visits.
Okay.
Seeing the traffic and the people coming and viewing our resource partners. We can see data on the back end, so we can see how many views on a particular resource partner and provide them with that information. I'm also looking at how much time people are spending on the website. That tells me that they're using the tool. You know, so we're also kind of looking into the future too, and we want to know what businesses started because SourceLink Nebraska was in the mix as well. So,
oh, sure.
So that would be some of the long-term metrics that we're going to be collecting, but upfront it's visiting the website, how many connections are being made, and how many referrals are being made from the website. You know, a business owner can refer themselves right from the profile. If they're working with Brandy, our network navigator, she can refer them to one or multiple organizations across the state.
Yeah, so there's a real human element behind it.
Yes, yes.
Which
absolutely.
is important, very important.
Absolutely.
So I volunteer with SCORE, which provides free mentoring to folks who are looking to start a business all throughout the country, but all throughout Nebraska. And I want to be a part of SourceLink Nebraska. What do I do?
Reach out to us at info@sourcelinknebraska.com, and likely I'll be reaching out to that resource partner and helping them add their profile. We do have a majority of our organizations on there, but we're finding more every day. So if you're a resource partner out there and you would like to be part of the network, please let me know and I'll start working with you.
Gotcha. And again, what would the criteria be? So it's primarily nonprofit government organizations.
Yeah, primarily nonprofit government and educational entities. So
gotcha.
That's the main focus right now.
And anything who has any organization or entity that has anything to do with entrepreneurship, helping people start businesses.
Absolutely.
Also resources for people who have small businesses and are looking to grow those small businesses?
Yeah, so for instance, maybe they want to grow their business. NBDC has a program called PTAC that helps with government contracting. Maybe you want to sell your product to the government. We have consultants at NBDC that can help a business owner walk them through that process.
And NBDC is Nebraska Business Development Center. I know there's always jargon in every conversation, right? We can't possibly say every word.
Lots of acronyms.
And asking the opposite question, just to help with clarity, what should not be submitted? That's a pretty big question, isn't it?
That is a great question, though. But here's the thing: if you're interested in SourceLink Nebraska and you want to learn how you can be involved, still reach out to us. I'd like to talk to you because there's other ways to be involved on the platform. It might be a story about your business. It might be a particular resource partner that has a success story that they want to talk about. There's different ways to interact with the platform. It's not just about having the resource profile.
That's right. And you did mention that you're building out a pretty robust video library, right?
Yes. So Enlighten, it was developed at the Nebraska Business Development Center. It's a library that has video resources, training resources on there that have been completed by partner organizations as well. So somebody can go on there and learn about different business topics and watch those videos in different modules.
Fantastic. Scott, thank you so much for the overview. This might be one of those episodes where you want to rewind it a few times and listen because there's a lot of information in a short period of time. But the important thing is we wanted to get it out there that there is a new repository for all things small business startups. That's the relevant part, of course, to this podcast. And so certainly after you listen to every episode of the Heartland Franchise Guy, then you want to go to SourceLinkNebraska.com. And you can get resources, and this is for all things, not just franchising. Anybody that wants to start any kind of business, right? Whether you're hanging your own shingle, buying an existing business, or thinking about joining a franchise, this is relevant for all of those, right?
Absolutely, and it's at no cost. It's available 24 hours a day, so please check out SourceLinkNebraska.com.
That is a great way to tie it up. No cost. These are resources that are brought to you ultimately really through our tax dollars, if we're being honest about it, right?
Yeah, the first year was supported by the CARES Act, but we do have founding partners that have put their support behind it. OPPD, Peter Kiewit Foundation, the University of Nebraska Technology Development Center, the Institute of Agriculture and Natural Resources, Nebraska Extension, and the Nebraska Business Development Center.
Fantastic. Well, thank you to all those organizations for making this possible.
Yeah, we're grateful.
Scott, thank you so much for being here. Again, it's SourceLinkNebraska.com. And if you want more information or you want your resource to be included in SourceLink Nebraska, then go to info@SourceLinkNebraska.com. Did I get all that right?
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for being here with us today. I am very excited about this being part of our ecosystem for entrepreneurs. And as you also heard, if you're listening to this from another state, there are other states that have SourceLink equivalents that do the same thing. So thank you to all of you for listening to another episode of the Heartland Franchise Guy, and we'll see you here again on the next episode.